Okay, somebody needs to mod this game so that the chapter title is This Fucker Again? I feel that's a lot more fitting. Yes, yes, I know. To be fair, Marth. Come on. Okay, actually, wait. I'm not fighting Garneth. Marth, you know full well he can only be killed by Starlight, and I am not a mage. Anyway, yeah, that's your resistance check. So, how is everyone? Ooh, that's actually extremely good for Katarina, which is good because we're going to need her. Good job, Yumina, you picked up a blunt sword. Fuck off, Roger. Nope. No. Mathis, I swear to God we will throw you out of this castle from this floor. Okay, well, not that many, but we did get a really good boost for Katarina at just the right time. So, here's Ymir's conversation. Like I said, I could have done this in the last chapter, but I didn't because it talks about going up a floor. Yeah, that's why I delayed it. But yeah, you just automatically get this after you meet Ymir, because of course you have to use him in the chapter he appears. So unless he dies, you're getting this support, and it's his only one, which kinda sucks because Ymir could use a lot more characterization and he gets basically none. His intro in the last game was cool at least, but like I said, he's just a less interesting Gonzalez. So next off we have Nagi, who of course supports immediately. Like with Ymir, you have to use her, so you're gonna get this no matter what, barring her death. But it's also hard to get her killed as well. You'd have to be trying, really. Is this a fourth wall break, Nagi? Are you mentioning that I'm controlling Iris? I mean, this is the conversation you should be giving to my self-insert, not my OC. It's similar circumstances, but I think it'd be more fitting for my self-insert. Alright, there's Nagi. And lastly, we've got this nerd. Again, he is a character who only gets one support. It's a fairly lengthy one at that. But also, you don't have to get it because you don't have to use him at any point. I mean, he probably won't talk to her afterwards. There, see, even he admits that's the plan. Oh wow, at least somebody says that's terrible. Somebody is calling McCallus out on his bullshit. Good. I mean, like, I'm glad you feel remorse and all, but like, I don't know. I feel you owe Maria something, even if you finally realized you're an awful person. Yeah, and McCallus didn't listen. So he almost died. Minerva likes you too much. McCallus, you're not that scary. Yeah, it was your sister. And that didn't really turn out too well either, did it, McCallus? Oh, he's actually polite. Alright. Well, that's the end of that. Oh, and great, the last Navarre conversation. I bet this is going to be worthwhile. This is totally going to justify not using other characters like Linde or Fina, who I would have loved to use a lot more. I don't like Navarre, I said. You're a precious comrade of mine, Iris said a moment afterwards. Oh, it looks like he cares after all. I guess Navarre probably wouldn't express anxiety over another person's injury like Cecil would, but still. Even if he wouldn't be as, oh, how would I describe Cecil's, thing with Katarina? Adamant? Even if he's not adamant as Cecil, still don't feel like he cares quite as much, just in his own way. Oh, whoops, I forgot to show that. Should I fix that? I don't care. Anyway, here's Cecil and Katarina. I like these two a lot more. Just let her cry on your shoulder, it's fine. Alright, so there's a conversation I actually do like. And that was worthwhile. Anyway, let's talk about the mission plan. War Council time. What we doing about that Garneth dude? 'Cause I hear that Dark Pontifex is alive. Alright, so map time. Got some more dragons. Some more dragons. A dude on a treasure chest. Whole lot of fortified stabs. More mages, a lot of long-range magic, another treasure chest, and let's see what's over here. Mages, dragons. I'm sensing a theme, I think. So, we've got all these dudes here, but on the throne, we of course have Garneth. And he's wielding well, he's not wielding falchion, he's got it on his person. He's not gonna use that clone trick he used in the last game. Anyway, though, this of course is the reminder to use Starlight. Yeah, so either we need to use Starlight, or if for some reason we don't have that, we just have to take the throne. The problem is, of course, if you end up seizing the throne, Garneth doesn't give you falchion because why would he? He hates your guts. He just escapes because you turn off some apparatus like in Shadow Dragon. No. Not that I want to, I'm just saying. If I could help them, I'd still tell you to get fucked, 'cause I'm Garneth. Heh, heh, yeah, hey Garneth, you know what's on the recommended reading list today? Starlight. Again. You didn't seem to like that one last time. Anyway, so this is a chapter in which turtling's fairly effective. You can kinda just hold back and let things attack you. Of course, that's a little more difficult in harder modes, because these dragons can attack from a distance, but you know, even still, you don't want to progress too quickly just because there are a lot of long-range tomes, though, to be fair, at this point, they're really not effective. They're very damaging if you get unlucky, but that's the thing. You have to get unlucky enough to be hit by them. So, of course, you're going to want to carry some ranged weapons. I mean, you always should, really, but, you're really going to want to take out those meteor users, because otherwise they're just going to be a nuisance. So, in terms of Lunatic, there are a couple of extra spawns, there are 2 extra fire dragons to the sides near those meteor-wielding mages, 2 extra fire dragons above this little area right here before the staircase, and there are actually mage dragons on those islands in the distance, which, by the way, I'll be honest, I've never actually looted those chests. The thing is, because of the walls, you can't use flyer units to get over there, so I kinda forgot that the warp staff existed, partially because I can't really be bothered yo-yoing people over, because as long as you have the rescue staff you can get them back, but still, it's kind of a pain to do that. Of course, to be fair, you probably could use the thief staff though, right? Actually, wait, no you can't because there are enemies standing on top of the chests, so you do have to kill those guys first before you can actually grab the treasure. Now, the thing is, the treasure is actually really good. The treasure chest to the right gives you a hammer and staff if you open it, so if you used up your hammer and staff from before, then congrats, you got a new one. That could be pretty useful. However, the chest to the left is far more valuable. That one has the staff, which it never hit me in any other playthrough of this game that I had never picked up the staff. It is fairly prominent in Shadow Dragon because there's an entire chapter that's maybe not devoted to getting it, because that one's also the March to Medius's castle, but at least does make note that you should pick up the staff. So it's not quite a plot point, but it's kinda close to one. Here, though, the game does not at all mention that the staff exists, so if you forget it does, then you might not realize that you don't get it if you never actually bother with those chests. But yeah, the staff, it can revive a fallen unit. So if anybody got killed off, you can bring them back to life. Of course, it's only got one use, so if you lost anybody really valuable, or you lost multiple valuable people, then, well, I guess pick favorites then, because only one person gets to come back from the dead. Of course, the one problem with that is, if they didn't die recently, they're going to be underleveled, so unless you're willing to put them through the arena, they're probably not going to get that much experience anyway. At that point, you're pretty much just bringing them back for the sake of bringing them back. Which, I mean, is nice, you know. If somebody died and you liked them, but you've moved on, then you should bring them back anyway, even if they're not as battle capable. Because just because they aren't as good at fighting anymore doesn't mean they're useless, and oh, well, that's Rise at level 20. I guess it pays to be the only healer in one of the DS games. In the Game Boy Advance games, I always have trouble actually getting enough experience to even get a healer their first promotion. So I usually end up promoting early, because otherwise they don't promote at all. It must have just been like they improved the experience that healers get for healing in every game afterwards. Actually, wait, how are Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn healers? I honestly don't remember. I unfortunately have not played Path of Radiance enough to remember the healers in that game, which is absolutely an error on my part. Not so much knowing the experience values off the top of my head. I don't care as much about that, more so just not playing Path of Radiance enough. That is something I should do more. I mean, look, we all have flaws, and mine is just I don't play Path of Radiance enough. Which is especially a shame because nowadays I really don't have time to just be playing an RPG out of nowhere. Ask me how my other playthrough of Echoes went. Most of my free time for video games that's not dedicated to LP stuff is pretty much Fire Emblem Warriors. Of course, I haven't done that much either, because I've also been setting up for DMing a campaign. It takes longer than you would think, but at the very least, I can think of ideas for DMing stuff at work. Can't play video games at work. Don't know why they don't let me just bring in stuff for LPing. Why don't they let me bring in my laptop so that I can hack away at some footage recording for an hour instead of packing groceries? I mean, look, just because I can't do both at the same time doesn't mean I won't try. It'll turn out poorly, but come on. I need some free time for LP stuff, jeez. Don't be selfish or anything, God, guys. Anyway, though, we are now going to be fighting Garneth, and some other mages as well. For some reason, though, Garneth's the first to fight us, which, good job not wasting any Starlight. Oh yeah, and of course, now that I'm no longer editing with Windows Movie Maker, I can talk and fight Garneth and do a stupid joke at the same time. Guess what, fucker? I've gotten more powerful! Oh, and of course, Katarina's fast enough to double Garneth, so... goodbye! Yep, sour grapes. Oh, well, I couldn't defeat Katarina, and in fact, my attempt to do so was quite pathetic, but... you know, the world's gonna be destroyed anyway, so it doesn't matter what you do. Sore loser. Anyway, though, we got the Falchion, which, is really useful, because it's got unlimited uses. Unfortunately, though, we don't get an entire chapter dedicated to Marth being able to kick ass with it, you know, outside of the final chapter. Because in Shadow Dragon, we got one before the final chapter. But here, it's just pretty much, you get the Falchion. There are some reinforcements. Like I said before, more will appear on Lunatic. But, yeah, you only really have the Falchion for that, which is a bit of a shame. It's got unlimited uses, and it's good at killing dragons. I would like to use it for more than one chapter. Of course, Sirius didn't kill him. Of course. Anyway, though, yeah, I guess we'll go down and focus on those reinforcements. 'Cause why not, right? We could finish the chapter, but we're here. they decided to arrive. We shouldn't disappoint them. That being said, though, this chapter isn't as long as the previous one, but I have also run out of things to say again, because Garneth is dead. And there's really not much else to this chapter. It's reinforcements that are far away and fairly weak, because they're fire dragons. There's not much they can do. They're not really a threat. Oh no, more fire... Oh no! Oh, mage dragons that are also far away. I sorely underestimated... Underestimated? What the fuck? What was that word that I created? Misunderestimated. I incorrectly underestimated them? Is that it? Normally I cut out line flubs, but I'm confused as to what misunderestimation is. What the fuck was that even? How did I make that mistake? Anyway though, yeah, do I have anything else to say on Garneth? I mean, I get why Garneth has more than one weakness, because it's possible to miss or lose Starlight. Like, you can miss Starlight and then it can break, so you might not have it, and it would be bad if you couldn't beat the game because of that. It'd just be bad design. I mean, the better design would be to just make Starlight unlimited use, because it's not like it's even the most powerful tome anyway. I think? I'm pretty sure Aura's better than it is. Either way, though, I think the magical apparatus thing is dumb and clearly tacked on. Like, after all the time they spend going on and on about how Anhulu makes Garneth invincible, the fact that apparently he just has a machine that does that, and you can just turn it off, is severely underwhelming. And the fact that he always puts it in the throne, so like, you can just walk past him, turn it off, and there you go, you're done. It's a bit silly.